You're listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. You're listening to music local and sustainable, and I'm your host, Dave Lake. Tonight, we have Erica Franklin and Wade Holmes. And so do then most of the originals as part of the duo?
Yes. We've got a couple that we do with the band, and there's some more that are kind of in the hopper that aren't finished yet.
A lot of unfinished beginnings, and the funny thing that he probably didn't mention is with the electric, he has a day off during the week, and if he gets a new guitar pedal, he may sit around and play that guitar pedal on the day off, and I have to work, and I'll come home and he'll say, listen to this cool new riff. I think that's how the other one ended up being with the full band, the original song. Some little riff he played, messed around with a new guitar pedal at home.
One of the songs we sent you from our performance at Barrel House South, it's called Low and Slow. And the story behind that is me and Justin both ride motorcycles. I work at the Honda Yamaha Triumph Kawasaki dealership here in town, and then he builds motorcycles out of vintage motorcycles. Well, we decided we're going to ride one day down to St. Simon's Island, down 17. We're riding down there and we go to this place called Southern Soul, which was featured on the Food Network. It's one of the best barbecue places I've ever been to. So we're riding down there, we eat, and then we just rode back, so it was just a short trip. But on my way back, I didn't have any music or anything going, so I'm sitting there in my helmet thinking, okay, Low and Slow, that would be a really cool idea for a song. And I started thinking about, well, it can be talking about food, or it could be talking about something suggestive about a love interest or something. And I kind of married those two ideas together. And I hope when we play it live, if people can understand what we're singing about, they think, oh, it's a love song that's kind of on the dirty side, but it's actually about barbecue.
So I was right.
We like food. Yes, you were. He nailed it when I sent him the track. He said, this song's about food, and he said, it sounds like it's about barbecue. I said, you're exactly right. We have to tell the story about that. We like food a lot.
Well, that's certainly the appropriate way to cook barbecue.
Right.
Precisely.
Yeah, you get that nice smoky flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Baby wants it, she likes it low and slow. But my baby wants it, she likes it low and slow. Lord, help you child, that girl is in control.
Justin Tusky, y'all, on the bass guitar. Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
And on a show at the station that's sponsored by the Unitarian Universalist Church will not go in the other direction.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
We'll let the listener go in the other direction now that we've mentioned it. So they can think about that. Now that is a really rocking song. It really brings out the whole band, the rock side of it. Compared to your acoustic, which is very folk Americana, there's a touch of country in there.
There is.
Americana, yeah. It is sort of bipolar, I would say. When you go to a live show and you hear something like Low and Slow or our Nirvana cover, and then you hear us playing Gillian Welch acoustic or Iron and Wine, anything that's really, really low key. Even Elin Jewel, some of that stuff is really laid back and minor key type of stuff. It's bipolar is probably the best way to describe it.
It's just the flavor of everything that we like. Is we found two different ways to really combine all the different types of music that we like, because we love funk music too, so we wanted the band to do more funk, which we haven't been doing as much of that lately as the rock. But then we like some country, we like Americana, and then we like a little blues and soul.
We like a lot of music.
Which makes me go back and think now that maybe we should rename the band, because they're like two totally different things.
One day. We already made the website, so we're keeping it that for a while at least.
But I have to give most of the credit on that song to Ben and Justin, because the bass line and the drums that they came up with for that song are pretty phenomenal. It's really what ties it together.
It's a fun song.
When you work on a song like that, is it pretty much a collaborative effort with the rest of the band?
It has been. With the original stuff with the full band, it's been collaborative, because he may have like a riff and kind of build some things around it, and he'll just say, hey, listen to this at practice, and we go from there, and they jump right in. And Justin and our bass player and Ben the drummer, they're really locked in together as far as groove goes. They really enjoy playing with each other, so that's always a backbone there, and they make everything easy for us. So I mean, they could play a song by themselves, just take off with the song, and we kind of stand over there and figure out what we're going to do.
We kind of both come from the school, if you don't have a good backline, then you're not going to sound that good. It doesn't matter how good your front people are. But I think we're well-rounded on all sides. At least I hope so. And it's interesting to watch when we have a practice when we're just writing, how much more enthusiastic they are than just, or really all of us, than just practicing, because we do practice once a week and we're trying to get everything, all the stuff that we play, really solid. But if we have a practice where we're just trying to write stuff, it's a lot more fun.
It is, as opposed to rehashing a cover song that you've been playing for a year and a half, but maybe you hadn't had a show in a couple of months, but you need to practice it to make it tight. It's certainly always more fun and more productive and more engaging when you're working on original material at practice.
We've played with a lot of musicians that don't like to practice too, and it's from their side, they may say, well, I feel pretty good on this, and we're going, it's not really as much for you as we want to know how it feels when everybody's together, and we need to feel ourselves out with you, rather than just, I know how to play it, let's all go to the gig and just see what happens. I'm
not like spur of the moment, let's play a gig together. I love to practice first. I guess it's more of, for me, like he said, very self-conscious about performing, and it's not always going to be perfect, but if you're prepared, you feel a lot better about it. And we saw the band Lynn Avenue last night. I don't know if you're familiar with them. And then if you want to hear a country band, they're totally country. If you compare what we do acoustically to what they do, it's different spectrums there, but you can tell that they practice I'm sure weekly, because they're very tight. They sound great. And you can tell a band that just wings it and one that practices a lot when you go see them. But I mean, some types of music are better for that. If you play the blues, you don't have to practice every week. It's all pretty similar.
So would you like to do another song?
Sure.
Sure.
do that as a duo regularly?
We do that as a duo and a full band, actually.
I
So
would think so.
some of them are crossover songs.
that has a lot of funk and a lot of rock to it.
I was just thinking to myself that I was palm muting more than I should, which is something you do a lot with an electric guitar when your gain's on. And I was thinking, because you have to think about how you play differently on acoustic versus electric, and I was going, okay, I'm doing that a little too much.
Could you describe palm muting?
Palm muting is basically when I'm doing that. Can you hear how the note isn't really clear?
Does it
It's
ring?
muted, yes.
Yeah.
You can hear the note that I'm playing, but it doesn't sound... So I'm muting it with my palm down here. Because when you have gain on an electric guitar, it has a really unique, interesting sound when you do that. Whereas acoustic, you should really not do that as much. Even though it sounds pretty cool, but it's not as cool as an electric. Sounds better open.
Yeah, it rings more.
Yeah.
And too much of that ring on an electric guitar, you're going to start getting feedback.
Yeah,
It's
you
muddy
can,
too.
bad
It
things.
muds up the song. That's an Alabama term.
What's the song?
Muds up the song.
Oh,
Yeah.
How about another original song?
Sure.
Okay.
It's called Empty Room. She ties a ribbon in her to keep his memory. The pictures on the wall, the life that used to be. She prays and lies. I come home and warm this empty room. She paces the floor at night. She cries herself to sleep. The life that he gave, the promise he must keep. He cries out loud. I come home and leave this empty room. Empty room. Is there a place in between every day and broken dreams? The life you live, the life you take, the love you give, the love you make. She ties a ribbon in her head to keep his memory. The pictures on I don't know where the idea came from that one, but I had this picture in my head of this married couple that one of them had passed away, but the ghost of the person could still see the other person in the house, and that's what they're kind of singing to each other or talking to each other, but neither one of them realizes that the other one's there.
I remember when he finally sort of finished with it, I think he wrote it in like a whole day, and he played me the song, and it was great. It was a great song. I thought it was awesome, but it was so sad too. I cried at how great and how sad it was at the same time.
When you're doing a show with a duo, how often do you work in an original?
Not as much as we should, probably. I think there's at least on the duo shows 1 or 2 consistently that we throw in there right now. So we're predominantly playing covers or on adaptation to some degree, but predominantly cover songs for now.
There's probably 3 that I've been considering bringing back that I need to.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that we were doing pretty regularly, and then for some reason we just haven't been practicing it as much. And then there's some older stuff that I think is good enough to bring back, but it all just comes down again to day jobs and having time to
refreshing
really
the songs.
Practice it.
Yeah.
Plus, we're always trying to learn other new stuff to kind of keep things fresh, but things get in the way sometimes.
So it's sort of easier to do the covers.
Certainly is. Well, we've been pretty adventurous in our song choices lately with covers as far as more of the rock side picking. We recently decided to cover a Led Zeppelin song, Death Cab for Cutie song, Nirvana, and Black Crowes. And sometimes it's certainly easier to pick a song that it's all laid out, you know, the melody and lyrics and the riffs and all that, and then learn it. or so you say. Then you sit down and you try to learn it, and you're like, wow, we picked a really hard song. We have been trying to challenge ourselves with even the covers. But yeah, writing originals is definitely more time consuming. So
it's always interesting when I think to myself, though, because Shane Baldwin's been talking to us about coming into the studio and recording at Elevated Basement for quite a while, and I've put together a list of enough songs that I know that really we only need like 1 or 2 more finished, but for some reason we don't play the majority of those songs that I would record.
Now, how do you select covers? Now, you said recently you're looking at a little bit more aggressive rock and roll.
I feel like it comes from the amount of live shows that we go to see and bands that we respect, as far as, you know, we go to a show and we go, hey, we want to play that song. And some of even the more nostalgic stuff like the Nirvana songs, we pick that up and say, wow, we really loved that song. I think that's a good song to cover. And sometimes it doesn't always fit vocally, and we may adapt it to fit my range to sing it. But I think it's really just a bit of nostalgia too. Oh, wow, we loved that song back in the 90s, or even a new rock song. Like we were looking into maybe some Black Keys stuff because they really rock, and we like that style too. They infuse a lot of blues, I feel like, as well. So it's really just about a feeling, I suppose.
You can, when you hear the song too, if it's a cover, you can picture yourself playing it on a stage and go, oh, people would love that if we played that, if they had the same taste that we do.
Sure. And I think we've kind of got an inside joke where we hear a song on the radio we think we would play. We say, that sounds very Wood and Steel-ish. I think we should add that to the list to learn.
I think the biggest thing that we pick up from seeing musicians live is the energy. And that's the thing that we've tried to make different than our acoustic. Because for me, when we play acoustic, anybody that plays acoustic, it's all about finger style and making it sound good and the talent that you have of just an acoustic instrument. Whereas if you plug in and play electric, it's the amount of energy that you can bring to the stage and get people into what you're doing, rather than just looking at you and going, oh wow, he's really talented. You can go, okay, the whole band's talented, and they've brought like the whole energy of the space up. And that's probably the biggest thing I've ever gathered from going to see live music, especially the type that we like.
Right, we want to, you know, make people feel the way that our favorite musicians make us feel. Like when you go to a show and you get chill bumps, you're like, I hope that we can do that to people too one day. Or, you know, I always get emotional when I see somebody I really care about. Like when he actually bought me tickets for my birthday or Christmas one to see Fleetwood Mac a couple of years ago, and I just cried the whole time through the whole show. It was so good. I I just teared up. And still when we see some of the bands that we watch a lot, like Tedeschi Trucks, you don't get numb to it, but you don't get as emotional. But there's still times throughout their shows when I see them perform that I tear up and I'm like, wow, that's just so good. They're really reaching people, and we hope to do that. So I think that's one thing we take from seeing a lot of concerts as well.
Tonight we've had Erica Franklin and Wade Holmes, which you probably recognize as the band Wood and Steel. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us. It's a lot of fun.
This has been another edition of Music Local and Sustainable, and I've been your host, Dave Lake. Save this time for another show next week.
Well, I know we ain't headed for the Hall of Fame. Gonna give it what we got, man, that ain't no shame. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2.